Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me actually leaning forward, not really lounging, while coming at you with thoughts of the day. I was looking back at that video where I let loose on the religious stuff. Holy Ghost. I picked up a couple of subscribers. I love it. Thank you to the new subscribers. Thank you very much. I really thought it might go the other way after that. I've just been a little on edge today, a little cranky. So tomorrow's another day. I'm just checking in to let you know that if George stays here much longer, we're all going to weigh 500 pounds. The man is an excellent cook. For my new subscribers, my son had to evacuate Key Largo, and he had a friend named George. I might not have to. There we go. That's fine doing this. He is from Poland originally, and he didn't really have, like family or anything here, so Spencer brought him along, and he is an excellent cook. He's been cooking up a storm since he has been here, and it's really nice. We had a nice dinner in the dining room tonight with everyone, because my brother leaves tomorrow. That'll be kind of a bummer, because I get used to having him around and I get depressed. Oh God, now tomorrow I'm going to be depressed over that. No, I'm not. I'm going to make sure that I have a very delightful day. I have to. It's my deadline. I wanted to just give you a heads up on something. There's some fake news, if you will, going around. I don't know what else to call it. That's so funny. It's not very clever, but I guess it's the meme of the day. Fake news. About this voter situation in New Hampshire. We have, Donald Trump has this election integrity crew, or whatever he calls it, which is hilarious because, well, if it weren't tragic, it would be super funny, and I would probably wet my pants, as my nature when I laugh too hard. He has this Chris Kobach as the head honcho of this thing. Kobach is notorious for his interstate cross-check program, which we never hear about, of course, ladies and gentlemen, because people are too busy screaming, Russia! When it was interstate cross-check that, of course, had an instrumental influence on the primary election as well as the general. It's a system by which they purge voters off the voting rolls by simply comparing first and last name. No middle initial, no social security number or date of birth, which was how it was supposed to be done. But Greg Palast, an investigative reporter, got a hold of this information a long time ago and was able to confront Kobach. It was good. He made a documentary about it called The Best Democracy Money Can Buy. And I highly recommend that you trot over and take a look at that as soon as you can. Anyhow, the fake story coming out is this 6,000 people voted in New Hampshire with driver's licenses from other states, ladies and gentlemen. So they crossed the border and committed this voter fraud and probably voted in two places. It's BS. Okay, let me just explain this to you. That is literally a federal offense. It is totally illegal. I believe the penalty is 4 years in federal prison. They have names, they have addresses, they have all the information they need on these supposed creepers across state lines, ladies and gentlemen. They're all living their lives. Nobody's been arrested, nobody's been approached, because it's a scare tactic to get people clutching pearls and up in arms thinking, oh my God, people are voting twice and 3 times. It's a lie. It is fake news. If you don't believe me, please go over to Greg Palast. I believe his website is simply gregpalast.com, or type in interstate crosscheck to a Google feature, or go on the community news Linesville, Linesville.com. Click on Lisa's Rants and Raves, and you can look at my work I've done on it, which would be, the column is called, it has cartoon swear words, and then it says cross-check. I sign off every column every week in parentheses with the following. Well, I put the end, and then in parentheses I put interstate cross-check, AIPAC, which is the Israeli lobby, and now I also drop in geoengineeringwatch.org, because these things I find are very important to let the American people know, or my friends know, or people, or anybody who picks up a paper. So yeah, fake news being pushed by some people who I do admire, whose show I might watch, whose show I might moderate even, but I can't let this go. I cannot let this go without telling people it's just not true. You've got to look into it. The whole thing, show me the people being arrested and you will not find them. And this whole scandal with interstate crosscheck was able to purge, I believe it was 7.2 million people off of the voter rolls in the 2016 election cycle, ladies and gentlemen. Coincidentally, most of them, of course, had black last names that are, associated with blacks, like Washington and Jefferson, and I think Black, isn't that a black last name? I don't know. And also, Hispanic last names, as well as Asian last names. Coincidentally, most of these people are registered Democrats. So, like Greg Palast says, it absolutely does have to do with color, and the color is blue. And believe me, Greg Palast is no Democrat. I'm no Democrat. I am on paper only because of Bernie Sanders in the primary. I do not follow a political party. Anybody who's been around here for at least a week will know that. I have equal disdain for both of these corporate, no good, owned, hideous people in our government. I don't think, I can't stand either one. I don't like Democrats. I can't stand Republicans. I hate them all with a passion, with the heat of 1,000 exploding volcanoes. Yeah, that's the story. I'm sticking to it. So I just thought I would come at you and kind of let you know that little bit of information before this gets out of hand, because it's already starting to, with a certain segment of society that might believe this. It's just, think about it very logically for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Are these people, have they been arrested? Are they going to federal prison? Because that is the penalty for this behavior. No, they are not. Because as many have pointed out, oftentimes, like if you go to college in that state, or if you have, you moved there recently or something, mainly I think it's probably college, that you don't have to really switch your driver's license to that college to that state for that, because you're in college there and you don't have to change your whole life and your whole address and all that jazz. It's just crazy. This interstate cross-check was literally supposed to, like I said, have first and last name, middle initial or middle name, date of birth, as well as social. It literally first and last name. And some of them are just so ridiculous, like, I'm just going to make up names, like a man named Frederick Washington of Washington State and a man named Frederick Washington of Florida are just declared to be the same person, and they're whipped off the voting rolls. That's it. No getting in touch with Frederick Washington of either state. They've just lost their right to vote. Good friend of mine named Cat and Cradle, can't vote. He was whipped off the voting rolls in Hawaii. So it's really, this is something that I have been passionate about for a year now. This is something that I've actually brought to light to many people that had no clue. This is something that I've actually, I actually made a telephone call to the NAACP. I think it's the NAACP. Yeah, I think so. Is that right? Okay, in Pennsylvania, I think it was. One of those groups is the NAACP. There's a gentleman who's a reverend. Is he the head of... Okay, I'm just going to say the NAACP right now. I can't remember, but I think it was. I called the leader of that in Pennsylvania, here in Pennsylvania where I live. It was in the winter. I think it was in February. I remember we were having some snow. Told her all about this interstate cross-check and how nobody's talking about it. Like the Democrats are too busy yelling Russia, and the Republicans aren't going to talk about it because it's their baby. And please look into it. She was shocked. She was appalled. She was clutching pearls over the phone. I sent her literature. I sent her my column. I sent her proof from Greg Palast. She was supposed to get back with me. She never did. That's why I'm saying this is suspicious on every level, ladies and gentlemen. Democrats are doing it. Republicans are doing it. It's bad news any way you look at it. But this is what you get when you have a duopoly, when you have two corporate parties that are filthy, dirty, scummy, all of them, both of them. On that note, Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. And once again, a reminder, this weekend I have been working on the little lounging Jeopardy, I've decided to call it something now, I can't remember. Lounging the Jeopardy version or something, where I've made up some fun questions that we can, just sort of relax this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I'm so sick of the world ending any minute now, and people getting screwed out of their votes, and us being polluted to death, and just all that jazz. It's time to let loose and just hang with Lounging with Lisa this weekend at 2:30 on Saturday and Sunday. We're going to play the game on Saturday, and I guess that's it. So let me say again, Lounging with Lisa, the video series that has me lounging while coming at you with thoughts of the day. Please join me, join others, drop your political identities, focus on an issue or two of your choice, and let's leave labels at the door. Love you. Welcome aboard to new people.